It's been a while since I posted a video, and I haven't really done anything for a while, so I figured I'd go ahead and work on my pack a little bit. One of the things about this pack I've got, it is a Alps Mountaineering Commander and Commander X and pack. Commander X is actually the frame system and the basically the game loading system that attaches through the Clevis pins to this to give you straps to carry out game. I've got the pack on it right now, which is a full pack. Of course, you can see my customization, my little Angry Birds stuffy there, and my towel and hand sanitizer and sunscreen to hang on the back there. I do have a 3-liter water bottle in this large. This is actually the spotting scope pack for the backpack. For hunting, I use it for my 3-liter water bottle. All 3 liters will fit in that pouch. Over here on this side, you can see my trowel for my poop kit. I keep a top pocket I reserve for comfort items like my air pillows and seat, and for the bottom I use for my toiletries. The main pouch on the back here, the big one here, I use for my first aid kit and water filtration. The main pouch inside obviously is where I'm going to put most of my gear, sleep system, food bag. The top, the brain as they call it in some packs, these aren't removable in this pack. That's where my rain gear goes. On the very top I could stuff a heavier jacket in there for a fluffy or something like that. And the bottom of course is the bedroll bag built in, and then this pack has an external shelf on it. The reason I have my pack out tonight is because the last couple times I've used this, it came with these cotter pin type things, type pins, excuse me, within the Clevis pins. It also came with a bag of rings and spare pins. I am going through the process right now of replacing those cotter pin types with the Clevis ring types. As you can see, I've already done a couple of them down here in the bottom, because these, especially up here near the shoulder straps, tend to dig into your shoulder. So even though this one's behind the mesh, it gets you. And so I'm going to replace all of the pins with the rings. So I've already started. I've already taken 3 of them out, and I'm going to put the third one in here right now. As you can see, I've already got the pin out of the Clevis pin, and I'm going to slip the ring on. These are basically just split rings, but they do have an angled portion on there to make it easier to hook on. Simply line up that with the hole in the Clevis pin. Kind of hard to do this while holding my phone as a camera. I'm not high tech and have a fancy camera yet, but you basically just hook the open end of the hook into the hole in the Clevis pin. Trying to watch myself do this as I also watch the camera to make sure I'm doing this so y'all can see it. It's kind of hard to do one with 2 hands. There, I think I got it. So it basically just spins on. Yeah, you got it there. And it just spins on and rotates around until it goes back through again. And now the Clevis pin is held on by the ring instead of the jabby cotter pin kind of thing that's on here. I don't know why they thought that would be a good idea to include those, but I'm glad they included the option with the rings, and I'm going to go through and replace all of them. Should only take me a few minutes with the with 2 hands and my multi-tool to pull out the Clevis pins. In fact, I'll pull one of those just so you can see what I do. So we grab it. I'm not left-handed. We switch here, turn it around so I can get a good grip on it. Grab it and simply pull it out. I imagine that the reason for these being included is that is a lot faster to remove. And for this pack system, Because it was designed to be used as a load-bearing system for carrying out game for hunters, it is a lot faster to pull these pins out and swap the bag for the harness system for the game than it is to swap all these rings. You saw the difficulty I had doing that one-handed. It doesn't take much to do it two-handed, but one-handed it's hard to slip those on. So that's what I'm working on tonight. Just a little housekeeping to make my pack more comfortable as I'm using it. Okay, I wanted to show you an adjustment I just made. On this pack, there are 3 holes on this crossbar for the shoulder straps. When I got the pack, it was fixed on the center one. I'm a big guy, so I'm thinking I'm gonna try it on the outer one for a while and see if that's more comfortable for me for my shoulders and back. Now, this handle was fixed to those pins as well. Unfortunately, it won't stretch all the way across the outer pins, outer holes. So I'll have to put it back in using the spare pins. But what that's going to do for me is that's going to eliminate me having to carry this little bag with the spare pins in it. Because if I ever have a pin failure, which is, gosh, in my backpacking career, I've never had a pin fail. Could have one get lost or a ring fail, but not the pin. But if I ever did, I would just take off the handle and use one of those extra pins that I'm now carrying. Weight-wise, it's the same as having the bag loose in my pack, but I don't have the bag loose in my pack then to do that. So I'm going to put that on and show you what it looks like. I'm going to take a moment also to show you how a Clevis pin works. Notice that I have put the pin through the pack frame and then through my strap and then put the ring on it. This is wrong. If you look at the backpack load-bearing strap, shoulder harness strap, it goes through, the pin goes through it first, then through the pin, for the frame, and then the ring. What that does, though, is the weight now is not on the ring at all. The ring does nothing except for retain the pin. The pin is captured by the ring, but the base of the pin itself is up against the bottom of the strap. But the strap is pulling against the side of the pin and the bottom of the frame. It's pinched in there, and that is what is load bearing. Now, by putting this carrying handle, which is just for ease of moving the pack around at camp and that sort of thing, putting it on this way, which is wrong, would not do any good because now all the weight is on the ring, and that is not what it's designed to do. That ring will fail. So I have to redo this and put it on with the strap underneath the frame. So when you lift on the strap, you're lifting against the pin and the frame pinched together, not on the ring. Again, the ring is just to retain the pin. That's all it does. It does go out one more notch, so I could get a little bit higher if I had a large piece of gear, like something lightweight, like a sleep pad or something of that nature. That's about really all it's useful for. Oddly enough, your head sometimes can hit this frame pack. I've added these straps. These straps I added to support my solar panel when I was on the in the Gila Wilderness. When I was running my solar panel to charge my CPAP battery, I actually had it strapped to the top of the pack using these straps. So that's why those straps are there. They do not come with the pack, just like these straps on the very top of the pack. The little connectors were there to put the strap, but this black strap I added just to have someplace to stuff a jacket or something underneath. If I had to take it off in the morning while hiking and didn't want to put it inside the pack, just stick it on top, or something else lightweight like that and cinch it down. That's what that strap is for. I did add that. And of course, you may have noticed earlier when I was describing taking the pins out, the cotter pins out and replacing the rings, I do have a whistle on my pack. Every backpack I own has a whistle on it. It is so much better to use a whistle to signal an emergency than it is to yell. The sound of the whistle can carry much farther, and you can blow a whistle as long as you can breathe. Your voice will give out if you're yelling, and you won't be able to yell for very long and be heard. But if I blow that whistle all day and all night until help finds me, they can come in and zero in on the sound that whistle makes. So I have, that is a just a plastic, typical Fox 40 P-less whistle, so it doesn't make any noise rattling around. It stays there quietly on my pack, but it's also right next to my head, so I just turn my head, blow in the whistle if I needed help on the trail, or to scare away wildlife or whatever else. So that's what I have on my pack. And like I said, all my backpacks have a whistle on them at some point. Even my day packs have a whistle with me. My school backpack I carry to work has a whistle on it. My day hiking pack for doing trails and for exercise and exploring, geocaching, I've got a whistle with me all the time. Just so dang useful for signaling for help, and it's reliable. It will not fail where your voice will. So I always carry one of those as well. Okay, I've got my pack on. I've finished my adjustments. I have finished changing all of the pins, the cotter pin style retainers on the Clevis pins to the rings. Got all that done. My pack doesn't have anything in it except for my water bladder and a couple of other things that are always in there. You can see my water bladder runs out of that main pocket on the side through the strap, and I have my bite valve here to drink out of. And on this side, you can see I do have a whistle right next to my mouth, so I can get to it in a hurry if I had to. These straps are just for my solar panel, which I don't have on there. That's why they're just looped around. So overall, the biggest change I made was moving the shoulder straps to the wider position rather than the medium position they were on. I'm a big guy, so that hopefully will make a difference for me. When I hook up the sternum strap, it'll go across and keep the straps from getting too far apart. But at least it feels like it's more comfortable. And the biggest thing is I don't have all the little points from those Clevis Pin cotter pins jabbing into my back. So I've replaced all of those. I no longer have the spare Clevis pins because I am using those now for that carry handle like I showed you. Overall, my pack is already more comfortable without those pins hitting me in the shoulder blades or at the top of my shoulders as it was before. So I'm looking forward to my next backpacking trip where I won't have that problem. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like.